Aren't Bionicle prototypes so exciting? A glimpse behind the curtain, a look at what could have been. And today we're looking at some prototypes for the Toa Hordika. Let's compare these to the final sets. Let's see which one is better. And what better set to compare it to than Oniwa? A set that often gets forgotten about. A set that I've even kinda not really cared about in the past. But upon a closer look, it's actually pretty good. So let's check it out. The Toa Hordika. LEGO is going for this awesome infected or kind of mutated look, taking these original heroic and good designs and morphing them into something that feels vaguely villainous. Yeah, turning a heroic Toa into a bit of a monstrous beast. It's not an easy thing to pull off. And I think there's an argument to say they did a good job. There's also an argument to say there's room for improvement. But regardless, there's some really incredible stuff, like the elegant gear function that allows this arm to swing and move around. Fancy. Or the Hordika spinner built into the back. It's a lot of fun to play with. And one of the best things about it is if they want to use it, they've got to really lean over. And that puts them in this very reptilian or kind of feral position, building it so that the weapon makes them feel even more animalistic. Clever. But I've not always been a big fan of the asymmetrical arms. This one here, it kind of always rests at a bit of a weird angle. I don't know. And yeah, the near identical look of all of the Hordika, they do kind of blend together a little bit. The repeated use of silver is often a problem with Bionicle as well. You see it so much, it starts to just feel a bit boring. There's pros and there's cons to these final designs. But alright, let's check out the prototype. Seeing it side by side, dude, it's night and day. The prototype is this armored tank covered in bulky silver armor. The other one feels so skinny and slim in comparison. Yet the idea of mutation and infection, that concept doesn't really feel present on this model. Well, unless, maybe, LEGO was trying a bit of a different approach. Maybe they were leaning a little bit less into the organic side of things and much more into the robotic. Cause yeah, a mutated or infected robot, what would that even look like? Well, maybe they've been more heavily experimented on. Because they've been experimented on, the wires are a bit more exposed. They've been given new armor. Some scientist has taken this very honorable hero and turned them into a living weapon. They're more machine than man. They're covered in armor. They're unrecognizable to what they once were. That's a fun idea. And if that is what they were exploring, sweet. Yeah, not mutated monsters. Instead, a scientific experiment, turning them into living weapons. I like that. I also like this head. Taking the Metru headpiece and flipping it around, turning the back of the eye stalk into a nose. Yeah, that actually works. And I mean, you could do that exact same design with existing pieces. It's possible. And these feet, it almost looks like they're treads from a tank. Yeah, I was making the comparison of them being living weapons. This kind of feeds into that, doesn't it? There's so many good ideas on this, and the end result is really cool. And not just because they look like a large upscaled grunt from Halo. But there's one more prototype of the Hordika that I think is fascinating. This is, again, wildly different. Much more of an animalistic approach that barely looks recognizable. If this is meant to turn into this, well, I don't know how that's supposed to happen. Look, I like that idea. It would have been such a bold approach to make the Toa super different. But yeah, I get why they might have kind of stepped away from doing that. At the end of the day, these are our heroes. They need to still look vaguely heroic. They need to still look like their past form. This doesn't really have that vibe. But hey, it still looks pretty good. There's no reason that you can't take this exact same sort of shape and form and try and rebuild it with existing pieces. That could be fun. I like that these models really shook things up. They were trying drastically different, bold approaches. And yeah, some of that boldness kind of gets a bit lost in the final set, unfortunately. But also, comparing the two of them, it has given me a new appreciation for the originals. The bent shape of the limbs, the gaps in the designs. Even the look and feel of just like this arm. Doesn't it look kind of skeletal? Like the bones of a fish. This does have that kind of creepy, unhinged, skeletal appearance. The new mask is also expertly done. This area here looking a bit like a furrowed brow, giving him the slightest bit of an angry expression. And the sharper lines, the general style, it feels aggressive, but still a little bit tender. There's still a noble soul underneath all of this aggression. And yeah, look at that. The lines on the mouth and the head, again, they kind of look like bones, vertebrae on a spine. There's a lot of brilliant design language packed into every corner of this Toa. And it's such an elegant mix of evil and good. Not an easy thing to pull off, but they did it, and they did it well. Really seeing the stark contrast between the two of them, it's given me a nice appreciation for the hard work and effort that's gone into making this look so freaking good. And plus, Oniwa has brown armor, and that was the thing. A lot of the characters that had brown in their armor were the sets that didn't sell that well. That's why brown was eventually replaced with yellow or tan, and that did help the sale of future sets. But you know, just because these sets didn't sell well doesn't mean that they're bad. They're great. A set like this deserves so much more love. But the question I proposed at the very beginning, which is better? I'm having such a hard time picking. The prototype is sick, so original, so fresh. But now I have all this newfound respect for the final model. I cannot decide. What do you guys think? Help me out. My fondness for rare and exotic LEGO things makes me want to lean a little bit more towards the prototypes. Maybe I'll go with that if you really need to like force an answer out of me. But it's a tough choice. Real tough. But another reason that these are great, the pieces. Let's see what we get and how you can use them in your own creations. We begin with these two silver armor pieces. I like the way that Oshkomir's Mox has used them for a double-barreled plasma pistol. The pieces really inform the look and feel of this blaster. It's cool. This could also make for a nice spaceship, a little microscale spaceship. It kind of does look like the Pillar of Autumn from Halo. Oniwa's mask is up next, and Bionicle Boss 1 uses them for thigh armor. Nice. The silver torso. I like what Mitch Builds has done here, getting a few of them and layering them in on their side. Yeah, the look of it implies a bit of a torso crunch. It feels like this could bend and move and flex. Implied movement, I think, is very important when designing a torso. The Rotuka spinner, well, just the spinner itself. Gringat has turned it into a fan. Hilarious! And this is your sign to go out and build a few more household items in Bionicle form. Doesn't it just look so cool? This limb element, it's a bit strange, a bit weird, but check out what Joxon has done with it. Taking this section here and turning it into the eye. And that then branches out into the rest of this, like, antler. How elegant. It's amazing how much this piece shapes and informs the face. That's incredible. The final piece. It's the one that makes up the body. JNP Mox uses it for the waist, and I like it. The shape of it allows it to very elegantly flow up into the torso. It creates a bit more of a seamless transition between the waist and the rest of the body. Yeah, it's always fun to take a look at prototypes, but when they give you a bit of a new appreciation for the original set, well, that's even better. That's Oniwa. Do you like the set? Or do you prefer the prototypes? Let me know in the comments below. And also be sure to take a look at the links in the description below. You can see more from the builders that I featured right there. Thanks for watching everyone, happy building, and bye for now. It always confused me that Onawa and Oniwa had such similar names. As a kid, I actually just called both of them Onawa. It was just so similar. Why'd they do that?